Hi everyone, and welcome back to Ho Tanta Passione. Good day, Melbourne, in this day two of the Australian Open. Unfortunately, Martina Navratilova and Steffi Graf were not available tonight. Barbara Schetz was busy with Mats Wilander, but is still here with us, the great Maggie. Maggie, are you connected with us? I know you're still having troubles with your camera, but can you hear me?
Good evening, Ale. Ciao.
Fantastic. So as you can see, you got very popular. People ask me, who is Margaret Thatcher? I said, no, she's not Margaret Thatcher. She's much younger, but she's very knowledgeable about tennis. Did you manage to watch anything, any highlights during the day, Maggie, or not?
I saw a few highlights, not too many though.
Okay, but it's perfect. This is why we have this format. Whoever was busy at work or helping the kids at home, since they are the majority of them studying in a home studying, now they can relax. Probably when they're preparing their dinner, they are getting ready for the evening. They can keep the smartphone or their smart TV on, and they can get updated on the latest results and even more coming from Melbourne. Tonight, we are going to start from the men's results because today, basically, they played the first round bottom half. Of course, in particular for myself, I was really expecting to see Rafa after 2.5 months since last time he played, basically his last match in semi-final at the ATP Finals in London. He walked on the Rod Laver Arena at 4:14 a.m. in the morning UK time. And what do you think, Maggie? Was I awake at that time or not to watch Rafa?
I can imagine you were. I don't think you probably slept at all. So you must be feeling very, very tired at the moment.
I know, but all the adrenaline that Rafa gives me, it's enough. I still have something left in my tank. No, I managed to sleep probably 4 hours. I think I went to bed 11 p.m. And of course, it was not Rafa on his top level. Like he even said, at the end during the press conference, he said, "My back is not, on top. I had basically to adjust a few things in my serve to be able basically to practice better and to compete." In the first set, he started very well. He was immediately one break up, and when he was serving on 5-1, it got broken. It's quite usual to see that in Rafa, I believe, in all his entire career. What do you think, Maggie? This basically the fact that he needs to adjust his serve, considering Rafa, how he's obsessed with all of his routine, might affect his progress in the tournament?
Well, Rafa always seems to start sometimes quite slowly in a tournament, and given the fact that he's having troubles with his back, maybe if he needs to adjust, he needs to adjust. And given all of his things that he needs to do, I'm sure that he's well experienced by now in making those adjustments, and I don't think it'll be any kind of hardship for him at all.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. Anyway, just basically after he managed to secure the opener with the score of 6-3, in the second, again, he got an early break and he had an opportunity basically to get a double break. And again, when he was on 5-4 serving for the set, he had to save basically 3 break points. But after he managed, to secure the second set with the score of 6-4, And in the third, probably because he was a little bit more relaxed and more confident with his shots, he won basically the third one with a score of 6-1. If you haven't seen the match or the highlights yet, I highly recommend all of you to watch basically the sixth game of the third set, when Rafa had to face two consecutive break points on 15-40, and he produced probably what is his most famous shot, forehand down the line, 3 in a row, something unbelievable. Anyway, like he said at the end of the match during the interview on court, he said, "I'm happy. The first round is behind me. The most important things was to go through without dropping any set, and so saving the energy." So let's see what is going to happen. Of course, we need to be patient, and hopefully day after day he will get, like Rafa said, to a better level. In the second round, Rafa will play against an American player, Mo. It makes me laugh because in Italian slang, mo means now. So I don't know, to be honest, if has the same meaning in English or in American, I doubt. Anyway, the American player managed to beat in 5 sets Troicki. The Serbian player was just the captain at the latest ATP Cup. He managed in the 5th set to come back from 4 games to 1 down. So what do you think, Maggie? Are you confident for Rafa in the second round against this? I think he's quite young, only 23 years old.
Well, that was obviously a good win for him in the first round, even though he had to go to 5 sets. I think, given the fact that he's playing Rafa next, will he be a little bit overwhelmed? I don't know. Because he's quite young, he might think he's got, nothing to lose, so he might just go for it. So, Rafa needs to be a little bit careful and up his game a little bit, I think.
For sure. I hope that on Thursday he's going to play, during daytime, more a human time, even for myself. But let's see what is going to happen. Also, during the day, Daniil Medvedev won easily in 3 sets. I think he dropped only 8 games against the Canadian Pospisil. Maggie, I don't know, what do you think? Because according to the bookmakers, he's considered, after Novak Djokovic, the second favorite. Do you like him? Does he remind you any other player in terms of style?
I do like him. He reminds me a lot of Djokovic. I think quite defensive. He's maybe not the most elegant of players if you compare him to someone like Roger, but I do like his style a lot.
I see. Yeah, he's very efficient, and now he's also on I think 15-16 consecutive matches won since last year. The Master 1000 played in Paris-Bercy. So for sure, he's a potential winner, and as well, Rublev, the other Russian, is on fire. He won easily in 3 sets, and potentially we might have a Russian quarterfinal ahead of us. I expect something very interesting. Also, it was a positive day. If yesterday, unfortunately, Italy lost Yannick Sinner, but I'm quite confident that basically he will, in the coming years, make himself very successful. But today, Berrettini, Fognini, and Sonego, all of them won, I believe, in 3 sets. Probably only Berrettini had to struggle a little bit against Kevin Anderson in the first set. He managed to secure the opener on the tie break. It was a quite entertaining and long tie break. So I don't know, Maggie, if you follow any of them or if you particularly like Italian players, but potentially Fognini might play against Rafa in the last 16. What do you think? Can be quite dangerous for Rafa?
I do follow the Italian players. I like Berrettini. I think Fognini is always a threat to Rafa. Rafa seems to not really enjoy playing him, and I think he is a danger. So Rafa needs to be really careful.
I see also probably I would say that Fognini doesn't suffer mentally, Rafa. He has a game very similar to Djokovic, of course, not as efficient in terms of consistency like the world number one, but for sure for Rafa that he tends to play a lot of forehand across the court. Basically, his shot is going against Fognini's backhand, that we all know is his best shots. But let's see, because potentially as well was a very positive day. 3 Italian players for men won, and as well 3 Australian players. De Minaur won in 3 sets against the American Sandgren. And he was quite impressive. He's another strong player, probably he quite like the baseline, but someone to take into consideration as well. We might have a third round De Minaur against Fognini, but also Popyrin won. He saved 2 match points against David Goffin. The crowd was completely crazy at the end when the match was over. I don't know if you ever heard about him, Maggie, or if you like in general overall Australian players, even players of the past.
Well, no, I've never heard of him. I do enjoy watching Australian players. Leighton Hewitt was one of my favourites. He was such a fighter, such a scrambler. Reminded me of a little terrier dog just running from one side of the court to the other. So, they do have a lot of heart.
For sure. And also Kokkinakis, that I believe is half Australian, half Greek, won, I believe, his first match in a Grand Slam since 2015. And probably, Maggie, you are going to be very pleased to hear that Mr. or Sir Roger Federer sent him his congratulations via Twitter. So what do you think about this sweet gesture from Roger?
Of course, Roger, although he can't be there physically playing, he's obviously there in spirit and he's enjoying it, and it's nice to see him supporting some of the players.
For sure. And just to cheer you up, I would like to remind you that Roger confirmed that he's going to be back in tour in Doha. So we don't have to wait too long to see, the king back in action. Okay. Also, if on one side another Greek player was very impressive today, Stefano Tsitsipas, he won easily in 3 sets against the French player Simon. For sure, not an easy first round, but he looked very strong, very solid. I think as well he dropped just a few games. We had, I mentioned earlier, the upset of David Goffin, but also Bautista Agut lost in 4 sets. I think a couple of years ago he reached the quarterfinals here in Melbourne. I think he lost in 2019 just against Stefano Tsitsipas. For him, it's already the second or third defeat since the beginning of the season. I remember he lost against Berrettini during the ATP Cup. So what do you think? Do you like Bautista Agut, Maggie? Were you quite surprised to hear about his defeat?
I was quite surprised. A defeat in the first round. I know he's a solid player, so I was expecting him to be to advance a little further, but that's tennis.
For sure. And now just looking basically at the draw, As well, Feliciano Lopez won is unbelievable. I think probably now, considering that Verdasco couldn't make this Grand Slam, Roger as well, I think in terms of age is one of the most consistent in terms he hasn't missed any Grand Slam for a very, very long time. So in the second round, from looking at this bottom half of the draw, we're going to have Rublev against the Brazilian Monteiro, Feliciano Lopez against the Italian Sonego. After, I think, quite interesting is going to be McDonald, the American, against Borna Choric. As I mentioned, Daniel Medvedev against the Spanish Carbellas Baena. Tsitsipas against Kokinakis. I think the crowd will be really on fire because as well Greek fans, Australian fans are very loud, are very crazy when it comes up to cheer up their hero, their favorite player. So I think that is definitely an important match, and probably I'm going to try, to watch it. Also, we're going to have a derby, an Italian clash in the second round. Fabio Fognini against Caruso. It's quite interesting to watch. After Cuevas against Alexander de Minaur. Norrie, the British player who beat Evans, that was another quite surprising upset. Evans number 30 in the tour. And as I mentioned, Rafael Nadal against Mo. I don't know if from your side, Maggie, there are any other kind of comments or observation regarding the men's. Otherwise, we can switch to the women's first round results, top half.
No, not really. I'm just glad to see that there's at least one British player still left in the men's side.
Yes, and let's see. We all miss Andy Murray. We are aware about the fact that he was found positive just before the start of the tournament. Unfortunately, he couldn't make to Australia because he had to arrive over here on time to be able to do the quarantine. So we hope to see Andy Murray next year here in Melbourne and in the coming tournaments. But now just switching to the women's first round results, top half, I believe, Maggie, you will be quite pleased to hear that one of your favorite players, Coco Gauff, won today in 2 sets. She was quite impressive, quite solid. Are you pleased with that result?
Yes, that's a really good result for her. I really expected her to win. She's very confident, and I'm going to be looking forward to her watching her processing through the tournament.
Well, and in the next round, in the second round, she will definitely need all of your support because she will play against Svitolina or Svitolina, whatever you want to pronounce her surname. She won today quite easily, the number, I think, of 5 in the world, and she dedicated her win to her boyfriend, Gael Monfils, who unfortunately yesterday lost. He's going through a difficult time, but we all hope and believe that Gael, with the love of Svitolina and all of his fans, he will find his way back, and he will manage, to win again and to be successful on tour. And we're going to have this second round, Svitolina versus Coco Gauff. What do you think? What are your feelings regarding this match, Maggie?
Oh, I don't know. Two great players. It's a really good matchup. I'm rooting for Coco Gauff, but I'm also rooting for a really good match.
For sure. Also, the defending champion of the Australian Open, Sofia Kenin, the American, who always said that she had an idol when she was younger, Andy Roddick. So probably like you, she really like Andy, and also she gets inspired in terms of game and style from by Novak Djokovic. She won easily in 2 sets. And as well, Garbin Muguruza won. She was quite impressive. The Australian player, the home player, number 1 in the world, Barty, won easily with a double bagel, double 6 love. So quite a painful result to digest for her opponent. But also we had some upsets for the women because Vicky Azarenka lost in 2 sets. She called the medical timeout in the second one. She was having problems, I think, to breathe. And also she was quite argumentative at the end of the match during the press conference, saying that she suffered the fact of being kept in a quarantine for such a long time. She was missing, the fresh air, training outside. She felt, quite claustrophobic inside her room. I don't know if you want to comment on that, Maggie. What's your opinion?
Well, I mean, obviously nobody likes to lose and nobody likes to feel like that, but all the players had quarantine. They all had to do the best they could in their hotel rooms. They couldn't go out for 2 weeks. She wasn't the only one. I mean, quite frankly, I think they're all lucky to be there. They're lucky that the tournament's going ahead. They're lucky that they're able to go to Australia and play their tennis. So it's just unfortunate that she lost, but there are bigger things going on in the world. So I think she should just be thankful that she's there.
Yeah, for sure. I think Vicky, she's a quite impulsive, very direct player. So probably the fact that it was just after the defeat, she was not finished. I just watched because it was just before Rafa's match, so they were kind of switching from one court to another, and I could really see that she was in a lot of pain. As well, the other British player, Konta, she won the first set, but unfortunately she had to pull out from the tournament due to an injury. Quite painful. She was in tears. I think it's quite sad. She's been quite unlucky in terms of injuries. And also, there was a potential last 16, Sofia Kenin versus Konta. So it's what a shame. What do you think regarding Konta, Maggie?
Well, that is a shame. Nobody likes to see somebody pulling out because of injury. It's really not an ideal situation, but hopefully she'll recover. She'll get better for the next tournament.
For sure. Also, Ostapenko lost, but probably for this player who managed to win in the past, the Roland Garros, we have more downs than ups since that win. So was not so surprising to see her losing in the first round. Like as well, unfortunately, Sloane Stevens, a player that I particularly like, the American who won, I believe, a couple of years ago, the US Open. She lost as well in the first round. Instead, Karolina Pliskova, number 6 in the world, managed to defeat the Italian Jasmine Paolini in 2 sets, and as well Kiki Mladenovic, Dominic Thiem's ex-girlfriend, basically managed to win. I like her. I know that for a lot of people close to tennis now, she's more focused on double. She's more successful as a double player, but I like her as well when she's playing single matches. So I don't know if you know Kiki, or do you like her style, Maggie? She's quite tall, quite powerful. A lot of people say that even Dominic Thiem benefit and change a little bit of his approach because of Kiki when they were together. He was really listening a lot to her.
Oh, that's good. He should listen to her. I don't know her, but if she's more focused on doubles, that would be nice, because I'm getting more into watching doubles matches these days. So that's good for her.
Okay, I see. I didn't know this particular aspect, the fact that now you're more into the double. So as you can see as well, this format is good to know better each other and to share different opinions. So just looking basically at the draw of the top half for the women, we're going to have another derby, an Australian match in the second round between the number 1 Barty against Gavrilova, who has got a wild card in this tournament. As well, to make you happy, Maggie, there is Watson, another British player playing against Kontaveit. And yeah, so the British players are left still in this tournament. Karolina Pliskova will play against the American Collins. Sofia Kenin against Kanepi. She might be quite again, I remember she might produce a good tennis, in particular on hard court, so I don't think it's going to be that easy for her. Also, the Croatian Dona Vekic managed to win today in 3 sets, so she will play against the Argentinian Podoroska, another one to take into consideration. So this one for sure is going to be a quite interesting match. And as well, Samantha Stosur, the other Australian player who got a wild card, managed to go through, and she will play against Pegula, the American. So we already mentioned about Coco Gauff versus Svitolina. So for sure, from this top half of the draw, probably this is going to be the most interesting match for the second round. Just going quickly, because leaving all of you guys for tomorrow, of course, the number 1 in the world, Novak Djokovic, is expected to be back. He will play, I think, as a third game on the Rod Laver Arena, so when it's going to be around 3:30 a.m. here in the UK, just in case you want to watch him live, against the American Tiafoe. Also, we're going to have a Dominic Thiem against the German Kopfer on the Margaret Court Arena, more or less at the same time. And Denis Shapovalov, who just defeated yesterday, after almost 4 hours, Yannick Sinner against the other Australian Tomic. So for sure, a lot of interesting tennis is expecting us tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to be able to watch any of these matches live, but don't worry. This is why there is Ottanta Passione. There is why I am here with a guest like Maggie. I don't know if you're going to be here for the rest of the week. I'm trying, to chase up more people to invite them during this live. But if you want to enjoy with a little bit of a sense of humor the results, and you want to get updated on what's happening on the other side of the world in Melbourne, stay tuned. Don't miss this format. Tomorrow at the same time, 6:30 p.m. GMT time, or 7:30 p.m. Central European time. Ottanta Passione will be here. That's all for tonight. I don't know, Maggie, if you want to say goodbye to all of the people in the chat, or whoever is going to watch this video later on.
Yes, goodbye. Enjoy the tennis. Have a nice evening, and hopefully see you again.
And don't forget, remind everyone to subscribe to the channel. It's very important.
Of course. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button.
Make Maggie happy and proud of you guys.
Please do.
I count on you. That's all for tonight. Wherever you are, keep enjoying tennis and stay tuned on Ottanta Passione. And good day, Melbourne. Ciao!